Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's hockey is live and on the air. We are live at the Arbor Ice Cube, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity hockey team taking on the Wyandotte Roosevelt Bears, as we had a really quick turnaround, as the game before was Father Gabriel Richard versus University of Liggett for the Catholic League Championship, and that game went into overtime. Father Gabriel Richard winning it 5-4 in overtime, but that meant that they actually had Green Hills Broadcasting and Father Gabriel Richard Broadcasting, so it took a little bit to get stuff cleared out and have a spot to set up our gear. So we haven't run any tests. We're just going to keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully everything is all right with our setup in the gear. So, taking a look, we do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer men's hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, the Ann Arbor Door Systems, Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Bake George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, Carlisle Grill, Closetivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, the Detroit Wings Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Reshaper Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kindling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nitto Seco, America. I always want to say Ann Arbor for some reason. Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shannon Norman Coterie, DDSP LLC, SBK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Services, Terry Lloyd and Company, Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson's Pilates. Pioneer comes into the game 1-15. Their last game versus Divine Child was canceled due to 2 snow days for Pioneer, as it was a couple of the biggest winter storm we've seen thus far. So that game was canceled. Then before that, they lost to Jackson 9-1. That was back on the 21st. Lost to Divine Child, that over at the Taylor Sports Specs back on the 19th. That was a 6-1 loss. Lost to Lenawee 5-2 over. That was here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. That was on the 18th. So they had the last win versus Bedford, and then they have 8 losses in a row that they're going to do their best. They went to overtime versus Roosevelt over at Yak Ice Arena. Ended up tying the game up and then going to overtime, where Roosevelt was able to, the Bears were able to win that game. So Pioneer wants to get a little revenge at home and try and break that losing streak, get their second win of the season. Taking a look back at the Jackson game, 9-1. It was 2 goals for Jackson in the first, 1 goal for Pioneer in the first. I don't have who scored that goal, as none of the stats are in the Michigan Hockey Hub for Pioneer. Then it was 5 goals in the second to be 7-1 at the end of 2, and then 2 goals in the third to get that 8-goal differential. As Pioneer was 0 for 3 on the power play, Jackson United was 2 for 2 on the power play, serving 6 penalty minutes. The goals for Jackson, 1 for Rogers, 2 for Chappell, 1 for Miyake, 1 for Bumgardner, and 1 for White, and 3 for Lisinski. That's 9 goals, 15 assists, 2 for Nitsky, 2 for Lisinski, 1 for Grimes, 5 for Burkhardt, and 2 for Bumgardner, 2 for Fagan, and 1 for White. 9 goals, 15 assists. It was now between the pipes for 51 minutes, faced 10 shots on goal, saved 9 of them in the win. Taking a look again, I'm missing a couple goals out there, but your top point getters for Pioneer, thusly, Commute has 9 points on 6 goals and 3 assists. And number 2 is Sutton with 4 goals and 2 assists for 6 points. And then Wilkins has 5 points on 5 goals. Armstrong has 5 points on 1 goal and 4 assists. And also tied for third place is Sanborn, who has 5 points on 5 assists. Taking a look at the Bears, they are 10-9 on the season. They are coming off of a win versus Riverview Cabrini. They had a losing streak before that, 4-game losing streak, losing to Allen Park, Father Gabriel Richard, Gibraltar, Carlson, and Plymouth. But they beat Riverview Cabrini back on Tuesday, 3-2. They also beat Riverview Cabrini back on the 11th, 6-4. So their 10 wins comes versus Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central. They had a nice win streak. They had 2 losses, then they had a nice win streak going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins from November 26th to December 16th. Unfortunately, the Pioneer in there. So they beat Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central, Troy United, Grand Rapids Christian, Pioneer, Troy United, Seagate Anderson, and Livonia Franklin. They lost to Grosse Steel, then beat Woodhaven, lost to Divine Child and Utica Ford, beat Riverview Cabrini, and then again last game versus Riverview Cabrini, they won that one. 3-2 was the score versus Riverview Cabrini. The Bears scored first in the first. Both teams scored in the second for it to be a 2-1 score at the end of 2. Then both teams scored in the third to make it a final 3-2. No penalties reported there, as your goal scorers for the Bears is Pente had a goal, Heskett had a goal, and Kirk had a goal for 3 goals. For assist is Dallum had an assist, Ballantyne had an assist, Hill had an assist, and Gonzalez had an assist for 3 goals and 4 assists. McGowan played between the pipes 51 minutes, faced 38 shots on goal, saved 28 of them. No stats entered for Riverview Cabrini. Taking a look at the top scorers for this Bears team, 45 points for Haskett. That's number 12 on your roster that Pioneer has to take care of. He is, at least 17 points clear of the next person, which is Ballantyne. 35 goals, which is double, or is more than the next 2 combined. 35 goals and 10 assists. So number 12 is someone Pioneer has to keep an eye on, Haskett. So 35 goals, 10 assists. Then next is Ballantyne with 15 goals, 13 assists for 28 points. Hill, number 22 on your roster, has 15 goals and 11 assists for 26 points. Kirk, checking the number 4 spot, has 22 points on 8 goals and 14 assists. And Dowam has 15 points on 3 goals and 12 assists for the top 5. It has been predominantly McGowan playing between the pipes. He's played 15 games. 8 wins, 6 losses, 4.06 goal against average, and an 8.73 save percentage. Playing 4 games has been Schaefer, 2 wins, 2 losses, 6.57 goals against average, and an 8.29 save percentage. Scoring by period, Wyandotte Roosevelt has a 4-goal differential to the good, 88 goals to their opponents, 84. They have 36 goals in the first compared to 29 for the opponents. That's +7. They are outscored in the second, 29-37. So that would be +8 to the opponents. And then they've outscored their opponents in the third, 22-17. So +5 for the Bears. 1 overtime goal for each team. If you chip in 98 assists, the Bears have 186 points, 112 assists for the opponents, giving them 183 points. Combined goalkeeper statistics, the Bears have a 4.71 goals against average and a 8.60 save percentage. The opponents have a 3.52 goals against average and an 8.74 save percentage. 2 shutouts for the Bears, 1 for the opponents. That is our pre-game statistics here. It's where everyone's skating around. We're about to come to the end of the skate around. Let's play a couple messages from the MHSAA. I'm not sure if we're going to have an ice resurfacing right after this or if we're going to hop right into things. Again, the game before went into overtime, and then it was the Catholic League Championship, so they had a trophy celebration afterwards. So again, lots of chaos running around trying to make everything happen here, but I believe we are up and going. So let's play a few messages from the MHSAA. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Starting lineups for the Bears as skating out on defense is Dowell. Next skating out is Gonzalez. Valentine skating out to blue line. As also skating out is Bayon. Kirk comes out to blue line starting. And McGowan, the starting goaltender for the Bears. Now on the other side for Pioneer, Sanborn skates out to the blue line for Pioneer. Miller comes out to the blue line for Pioneer. Ward starting for Pioneer. Wilkins starting, comes out to the blue line. Sutton skates out to the blue line. And Cass between the pipes. As now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. As we're getting ready to go, 17 minutes up on the board. Pioneer versus the Roosevelt Bears as this game went to overtime over at Yak Ice Arena. Pioneer looking to get a little payback and try and win this game at home. The Bears would like to stitch together another win, try and keep over 500. Pioneer trying to get their second win of the season. The Bears in dark blue jerseys with yellow outlines on the numbers on the back and around the middle. They have Wyandotte, I believe, on the front, trying to check out. There we go. We'll take a look at the goalkeeper. Yep, Wyandotte on the front with the little crest. Numbers outlined in yellow on the sleeves. Pioneer is in their home white jerseys with the black stripe across the middle. Block A's on the front. Numbers in dark on the back and on the sleeves. And Pioneer in block lettering underneath the block A's. Across the way as we are getting ready to go here from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube Little Saturday afternoon hockey. The Pioneer women are about to tip off in about 15 minutes over at Vets as they're going to play Northville. If you're looking for that game, that will be broadcast as well. James Wiseman on the call for that. Mike Butler on camera. We appreciate that. So Valentine in to take the face-off versus Ward. That puck coming into it is Wilkins. Wilkins comes in on the near circle. Wilkins comes in. That puck all the way into the far corner, trying to tip it back. That puck back to the far point. Rocketed in outside the near circle. And gathered up by Miller, now coming the other direction. Racing ahead is Valentine. Valentine gains his own. Valentine on the far circle. He's driven wide into the far corner. That puck back behind, picking it up in along the near boards is Ward. Trying to peel it off of the near circle. That fired into the far corner as Kirk tries to get it. Had swept away. Ward has it outside the far circle. Ward over his own blue line. Coming down the far boards, trying to get it over to Wilkins. That poke checked away, and the puck comes into the near corner in the Pioneer zone. As Haskett, the leading scorer, comes over, and that puck outside the near circle. As trying to get it out of the zone is Rowe. That comes right back in. Hill has it in the high slot. That's a shot that just goes wide. Gathered up back behind the goal. Setting up back there is Commutin. Commutin fires it outside the far circle. Gathered up there by Armstrong. Armstrong loses an edge. The puck rimmed all the way into the near corner. Gathered up, trying to fire it ahead was Rowe as that comes all the way back, gathering it in. Yang trying to get to it. The puck loose. And right out in front, backhanded shot by Armstrong. That goes into the far corner. Commutin trying to put it in along the end boards. Battled there now, coming away with it. Into the near corner is Yang. Yang trying to peel it off the near corner as now Commutin waiting on the near circle, trying to get to it. That tip back. Shot by Yang just goes wide to the far corner. Pioneer trying to keep the pressure on. 15-13 left to go here in the first. Scoreless game so far as the Bears trying to get it into the Pioneer zone. Friedman fires it right back to center ice. Now bringing it in as here comes Ballantyne. That knocked away by Armstrong, held in. Now coming in is Gonzalez. That puck loose and tipped away by Cass as a backhanded shot coming from right back behind by, as that was Bayon. The puck all the way back into the far corner. Yang trying to gather it up in the Bears' end. And picked up coming down the near boards is Gonzalez. Gonzalez over his own blue line. That fired back, that was Patterson who put it into the near corner. Gathered up there, here comes Pioneer. Sanborn over his own blue line. Sanborn over center ice. Sanborn moves it ahead, now top of the far circle. Hudson trying to get to it. And puck loose underneath the far circle, gathered up, and here comes the Bears coming the other direction. The Bears gain the zone. Ballantyne into the near corner. Miller trying to knock him off of the puck. Battle for it in the near corner. Trying to dig in. Garcia trying to pull that away. Bayon tries to get it, that all the way into the far corner. Miller trying to poke that out. Now pulled back. Here comes Wilkins down the near boards. Wilkins over his own blue line, racing through the neutral zone. Wilkins gains his own. Outside the near circle on the near side. Shot and a save by McGowan. The puck outside the near circle. And pulled back over, intercepted by Wilkins. Wilkins comes into the slot, knocked away. Puck still loose. Shot by Rowe, covered up by McGowan. 13:34 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far as that puck will stay in the Bears zone. That'll be in the near face-off circle to McGowan's left. Sutton in to take the face-off, it's going to be Warden to take the face-off. versus Heskett on the other side. The puck loose on the blue line. Sutton trying to come in, and a save by McGowan. Collision back behind the net as Sutton's all right. He pops up. 13:30 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Ward again versus Heskett. That comes right through the slot. Hill trying to knock it away. The puck loose on the far circle. Outside the far circle, Sutton trying to grab it. Now that pulled ahead. Here comes the Bears as Heskett on the far circle, driven wide. Good job by Friedman as that puck pulled right back into the near corner. Hill trying to pull that away. Now Sutton trying to knock it all the way back into the neutral zone. That'll slide back into the Bears' end. Trying to gather it up is down. Feeds it into the neutral zone. Racing over to get it is Hill. That poked away. Hill had it outside the near circle. Now Commuton fires it over. Pioneer over their own blue line. That fed ahead by Sutton. And shot by Wilkins off the top of the far circle. That goes right and covered up by McGowan. 12:45 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. As good crowd in as a number of Pioneer fans in here, as well as some of the Wyandotte Roosevelt fans. Face off in the far face-off circle. That to McGowan's right. Is in to take the face-off. Commuton. On the other side is Ballantyne. That puck outside the near circle, gathered up by the Bears as they try and fire it out of the zone. Held in by Edwards. On top of the near circle, Yang trying to get to it. Commute outside, feeds it through the slot, shot, and covered up by McGowan as Commuton fed it over, and Armstrong sitting right on the far corner took a good whack at it, and McGowan able to keep it out of the net. Commuton in to take the face off. Ballantyne on the other side. That puck loose on the far circle, tipped towards the net, now pulled back, fired ahead by Kirk all the way back into the neutral zone. And gathered up, fired into the Pioneer zone, into the far corner. That will be icing and head back into the Bears' end. 12:15 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. That to McGowan's right. Looks like Ballantyne will take the face-off versus Commuton. No, it's going to be Heskett taking the face-off for the Bears versus Commuton. And that far face-off circle, Yang is going to now step in for Commuton. And puck loose on the far circle, set back, slips into the neutral zone, foot race. Ballantyne trying to get there first and sticked into the near corner by Cass. Good job racing back by Sanborn to try and cause some pressure. Heskett has it outside the near circle. Now Sanborn trying to fire it in along the near boards as that puck comes back into the neutral zone, coming down the far boards. Here comes Pioneer. Commuton has it on the far circle. Commuton shot. That one deflects into the far corner. The Bears feed it ahead, racing. Heskett has it over center ice. Heskett gains his own outside on the far circle, puts it into the slot. Wouldn't settle down. Pioneer as Friedman fires it over the neutral zone. That brought in by Yang into the near corner with 11:30 left to go here in the first. Gathered up by the Bears outside the near circle is Patterson over his own blue line. Patterson over center ice. Puck wouldn't settle down, but he backhanded it deep in along the end boards as Holt puts it outside the near circle. That's swept by Hill and pulled down. Commuton has it in along the near boards. Garcia trying to get it out of the zone. Battle for it outside the near circle. Heskett chasing it. Friedman trying to get it over to Holt as that puck back to the near point. Coming in. Gonzalez with a shot. Oh, as good job by Cass as he was screened out in front. Another shot. That puck comes into the near corner. And outside the near circle, bringing it at his Pioneer. Garcia feeds it. Now that puck deflects into the far corner. Hudson trying to pick it up there, battling back behind with the Bears. Now the puck in along the far boards in the neutral zone and fired all the way back deep by Hill. Excuse me, that was Kirk. Put ahead, Miller gets it out into the neutral zone for Pioneer, down in the near boards. That intercepted, brought back in by Ballantyne. Ballantyne trying to make a move, the puck outside the near circle. Now into the near corner. And fired ahead by Rowe. The puck still into the zone and now tipped away as Wilkins trying to grab it in along the far boards. Firing it back, Sutton had it. Bounced off of the near boards, fired ahead by Dowam. Now Ward has it at his own blue line in along the far boards. As trying to make a move, Hill into the far corner. That puck put back onto the far circle. Here comes Pioneer. Over their own blue line, racing ahead. Wilkins, drop pass, that knocked away. Loose right at the Bears' blue line. Now the Bears coming ahead, gaining the zone, racing in. That moved over. Heskett got it over, a shot by Bayon. And just went wide outside the near circle. Dowam has it at the near point, backhands it. Here comes Heskett with the shot. That one just goes wide into the near corner. As the Bears have it on the near circle, Dowam trying to get to it, as that was a shot from the near point. A wide angle shot as Cass went out to play the puck. Good job by Pioneer to fire it all the way down. That will be icing, but it gives Pioneer a chance to line change as opposed to in college or in pros on an icing call. 9:11 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. As the Bears have had a couple good opportunities. Pioneer with a couple opportunities as well. Face off to Cass's right. Commute in to take the face off. Looks like it's going to be Heskett on the other side for the Bears. Is that puck loose? Now Broad, as Kirk had it, pulled back away by Friedman, who fires it down the far boards. Lifted back in along the near boards, bringing it ahead. Patterson fires it back deep for the Bears into the far corner. Friedman trying to help it along. He's pinned against the far corner. Kirk back there. Centering attempt up into the netting, and we will have a face-off in the Pioneer zone. 8:51 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That is to Cass's left. Commuting in to take the face-off. Friedman to his left. Armstrong to his right. And on the other side is Heskett. Shot from the top of the far circle, deflects up into the netting. We'll re-drop it on that far circle just to Cass's left. Still scoreless, 8:47 left to go here in the first. Heskett versus Commuting in that far circle. The puck brought ahead. Here comes Pioneer down the far boards. Armstrong has it, lifted back deep and in along the end boards. Armstrong into the near corner. Yang has it outside the near circle. He's trying to hold it in at the near point row. That got put right back behind. As pulling it outside, Commuting has it. Backhands it right back behind the Bears' goal, trying to fire it out in front. That gloved by McGowan as it tried to come from the end boards over the goal. McGowan turned around, got his glove on it. We'll have a face-off in the Roosevelt zone. 8:21 left to go here in the first. Scoreless game so far. Face-off is going to be to McGowan's left in the near face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Ballantyne on the other side for the Bears. That puck outside the near circle as Edwards trying to keep it back in deep. Through the slot, that pulled away by Gonzalez back behind his own goal. Gonzalez coming down the far boards. That picked up now. Right through the neutral zone, intercepted by Edwards. Edwards trying to feed it in. That pulled back by Ballantyne, who feeds it into the Pioneer zone. Rimmed all the way outside the far circle. Here comes Sanborn. Sanborn pinned against the boards. Now Hudson trying to fire it out of the zone. Held in by Ballantyne. Shot that goes outside the near circle. Now Dowam at the near point. Firing it, centering attempt, that got knocked down. Great defense by Sanborn. Sanborn brings it ahead. Sanborn lifts it deep into the Bears zone. 7:38 left to go. Hill has it in along the end boards, puts it outside the near circle. As that brought back. Now Gonzalez right back behind his own goal, setting things up. 7:27 left to go. The puck outside the near circle, now brought back into the neutral zone. Tipped Pioneer, feeds it right back in. Gonzalez has it on the far circle of his own zone. That puck fired all the way down the ice. That'll be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. Someone lost a glove on the far face-off circle in the Pioneer zone. 7:13 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Looks like Heskett. They will be taking the face-off for the Bears. Ward for Pioneer. Sutton towards right. Right back behind him, I believe that is Wilkins. As that puck in along the end boards. Outside the far circle, brought ahead. Now here comes Heskett trying to get it into the Pioneer zone. The puck outside the far circle. That pulled back by Friedman. Here comes Sutton. That poked away. The puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Ward trying to sweep it ahead. Here comes Sutton. Sutton comes, loses the handle, back to the high slot. Shot there in a glove save by McGowan. 6:48 left to go here in the first. Still scoreless game here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. You have time if you're in the area. Come on down. We'd love to see more folks. 2 more periods left to go. If you can't make it, well, we appreciate you watching from wherever you are at. Ward in to take the face-off. Heskett on the other side. Now Heskett will have to get out of the face-off circle. That's going to be Hill on the other side, but Heskett gets it along the far boards, trying to chip it ahead is Wilkins. Now Heskett coming down the far boards. Heskett gains the zone outside the far circle. Heskett driven wide as the puck in along the end boards. Now that comes through the slot, trying to fire it ahead is Sutton, racing down the far boards. Here comes Pioneer. Wilkins knocked off the puck as Gonzalez has it in the far corner of his own zone. Gonzalez sweeps it around the boards outside the nearest circle as Pente trying to get to it. As held in at the near point by Sutton, now backed out into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to refire it back in and touch up as Miller fired it back deep. The puck into the near corner. Patterson feeds it ahead, intercepted on the far circle by Commuton, and put right back in along the end boards. Now over off of the far circle, and put back by Ballantyne, right back behind the goal for Gonzalez. Gonzalez comes down the near boards of his own zone. Gonzalez over the neutral zone. Gonzalez sends it into the Pioneer zone. Miller has it outside the near circle, and chipped right back to the Bears blue line. And set up by Patterson, sends it into the Pioneer zone, now collected by Commuton. Commuton backhands it ahead. Knocked back deep by Yang into the near corner. Gonzalez backhands it outside the near circle. That lifted and brought ahead by the Bears out into the neutral zone. Miller fires it right back in. Yang had it, poked off of his stick. Now here comes Patterson. Patterson fires a shot and Cass with the save. 5:18 left to go here in the first period. Scoreless so far at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, as it is the Wyandotte Roosevelt Bears versus your Pioneer men's hockey team. Face off to Cass's right in the near face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Heskett on the other side. With 5:18 left to go, scoreless so far, as Dowham holds it in at the high slot, comes right back behind Cass into the near corner. Pente feeds it back around. Commuting trying to fire it ahead, that into the slot. Shot and a save by Cass. 5:04 left to go here in the first period. And shots on goal not being tracked today, but face-off in the near face-off circle. That's going to be to Cass's right. Commuting again versus Heskett. That comes top of the near circle. Fired back through the neutral zone. Coming ahead with it, Armstrong feeds it back deep into the far corner. Gonzalez pulls it back behind his own goal. Gonzalez trying to backhand it and fired and brought ahead as Heskett down the far boards of the neutral zone. Heskett comes in on the far circle. Shot that one. Deflects all the way top of the near circle. Gathered up there. Here comes Pioneer as that's fed ahead by Yang before going for a line change. As the puck loose on the near circle, banked back into the neutral zone. As bringing it ahead is the Bears coming down the far boards. As that's brought in by Hill. He has a centering attempt right through the slot. Held in at the near point. Fired back deep by Patterson. Now lifted into the neutral zone by Garcia. Gathered up there by Patterson. Patterson gains the Pioneer zone. Tipped away as the puck in along the near boards. Brought back out by Garcia through the neutral zone. Gathered up by Ballantyne in his own zone. Ballantyne feeds it through the neutral zone. Tipped away by Friedman, trying to make sure that Kirk didn't get to it. Ballantyne pulls it back just shy of his own blue line. And tipped as the puck loose at the Pioneer blue line, now bringing it forward. Rowe feeds it all the way deep into the Bears zone. 3:45 left to go. Here in the first, the puck outside the near circle. As that swung around, is shot by Hudson, and a save by McGowan. Bayon had it and tipped away. Be a face-off in the near face-off circle. 0-0 is the score. Face-off will be to the left of McGowan. Ward in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Heskett on the other side for the Bears as that puck pulled away, comes back behind the goal. Gonzalez trying to beat it. Shot and a save by McGowan as Sutton got it just on the inner corner of that far circle, right the shot. McGowan able to make the save. 3:29 left to go here in the first. Face-off in the far face-off circle, back to McGowan's right. Ward again versus Heskett in that face-off circle. Comes back, top of the far circle as Wilkins knocked off the puck. The puck bringing it ahead. Here comes Heskett, drop pass as that moved over, top of the near circle. Now Patterson has it at the near point. Bouncing puck and covered up by Cass. 3:13 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Face-off is going to be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's right. Ward in to take the face-off. Heskett again for the Bears as that puck drop. Pioneer gathers it, firing it ahead is Sutton, chip back. Now the puck loose at center. Here comes Heskett. Heskett gains his own. Heskett works his way. Shot, save! Oh, another shot and a good save as Cass got his pad in front. Patterson feeds it right back behind the goal. Edwards trying to get to it. The puck bouncing outside the near circle. Sutton feeds it all the way back into the neutral zone. Dowham fires it back in as the Bears have to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. They go for a line change. Here comes Pioneer down the near boards as bringing it in is Sanborn. Sanborn trying to poke it towards the goal. That knocked away into the near corner. Commute outside the near circle, fires it through the slot, top of the far circle with the shot. That deflects into the far corner. As trying to chip it back to Wilkins at the far point. We'll have our first penalty of the game. That at 2:19. Pioneer, as that looks like it's looking for a Pioneer penalty. That's going to be roughing. As Sanborn into the box. Pioneer on the penalty kill. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's left as Armstrong in to take the face-off. And puck loose, tipped back into the neutral zone. Gonzalez drifts back to center ice to reset it up. Gonzalez gets it in his own zone, floats back. Now comes over the blue line, feeds it over to Heskett down the near boards. Heskett firing it. That rims all the way around the boards outside the far circle. Kirk moves it back to Dowham. Dowham high slot to Gonzalez. Gonzalez back top of the far circle to Kirk. Shot and a save by Cass. 1 minute, 53 seconds left to go here in the first. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go in the Pioneer penalty kill. Face-off again in the far face-off circle to Cass's left. Armstrong versus Heskett, that back to the far point. Dowham feeds it back behind the Pioneer goal and to the near corner. Bears control. They feed it high slot for Gonzalez. Now over to Heskett. Back to Gonzalez high slot. Heskett top of the near circle with the shot. And boy, that just went underneath the crossbar. Not much Cass could do about that. And it is a goal for power play goal for the Bears as they go up 1-0. I believe that was Heskett on the goal. We'll see if we can get any assist. That's at 1:38. Bears go up 1-0. Face off at center ice. Commuting in to take the face off. Heskett on the other side. As that puck comes in along the far boards, Gonzalez gathers it up at top of the far circle, feeds it through the neutral zone. That picked up. Pente gains his own. Pente. Gonzalez on the assist on the Heskett goal. 1 minute, 20 seconds left to go. Pioneer gets it into the Bears zone. Gonzalez trying to feed it away. Armstrong into the near corner for Pioneer. Into the slot. Shot by Yang, and Yang scores! Pioneer answers back as that was 27 seconds later. At 111, Yang fires it in, and Pioneer equals it up at 1 apiece. I believe that's going to be an assist to Armstrong. We'll check that out. But the score 1-1 with 1 minute, 11 seconds left to go in the first. That's a lot of ones on the scoreboard, but that's okay. Face off right at center ice. Ward in to take the face-off versus Ballantyne. That puck in along the near boards. Pulling it back is Kirk. Kirk gets it over the over center ice, right at the near point at the Pioneer zone. That bet ahead. Ward chasing it back. Now Gonzalez has it right in front of his own goal. Fight feeds it over to Patterson outside the near boards. 53 seconds left to go. Patterson into the near corner. Pioneer trying to get to it. Sutton outside the near circle. That comes all the way outside the far circle. Sambor trying to hold it in. That goes right into the Bears bench. 43 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-1 is our score. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to McGowan's right. As in to take the face-off, Ward versus trying to see Ballantyne. Numbers not easy to read today as the puck back behind the goal. Sutton trying to pull it off of the boards. 34 seconds left to go. Here comes the Bears. That intercepted, racing in as Wilkins into the near corner, trying to get away from Dowham. The puck pinned against the end boards. Now Wilkins feeds it in front. That sticked away. Good job by McGowan. Ballantyne back behind his own goal. Ballantyne comes through the slot. 15 seconds left to go in the first. Ballantyne comes down the far boards. Wilkins trying to get in front. That puck still loose. Ballantyne trying to chase through. That banked off of the near boards. Now gathered up by Wilkins over his own blue line. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that will do it for the first, as it is 1-1 at the end of one. It was a power play goal by Heskett for the Bears at 1 minute 38 seconds left to go in the first. Then Yang answered back at 1 minute 11 seconds left to go, and that's where we stand as it is 1-1. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and then we'll put together our intermission scoreboard report. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
All right, we haven't had a game since Saturday, so lots of scores to get to. Back on Saturday, January 21st, it was Reitz Buffers beating Michigan by a score of 9-1. Howell beat Livonia Franklin by a score of 9-1. It was the Orchard Lake St. Mary's beating Cransbrook Kingswood by a goal 3-2. Eastside shut out Kalamazoo United 8-0. It was a one-goal win by Gaylord over Negaunee. 4-3. Bay City shut out Rochester United 4-0. It was St. Edwards of Ohio beating Traverse City West 3-1. Caledonia beat East Kentwood 13-0. It was Manistee with a 4-goal win over Cadillac 5-1. The M1 Griffins shut out Bloomfield Hills 3-0. Chippewa Valley with a 5-goal win over South Lyon Unified 7-2. It was Grand Rapids Catholic Central with a 3-goal win over De La Salle 7-4. Father Gabriel Rochard beat Milford 7-2. It was Houghton with a 5-goal win over Salem 9-4. Genesee beat the FNV Griffins by 5-2. It was the Bay Area Thunder over Bishop Foley United 5-3. Novi 11 and Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central 3. It was Byron Center topping Saginaw Heritage 4-1. Lake Orion shut out Midland Dow 8-0. It was Saline with a 5-goal win over Woodhaven 7-2. Sault Ste. Marie beat Port Huron Northern 5-2, and Lenawee Troy with the 2-goal win over Lake Shore, 3-1. Kingsford shut out Rhinelander 3-0. It was Calumet falling to Escanaba 3-1. Skyline beat Farmington United 6-1. It was Tawas beating Grand Blanc 7-3. Flint Power shut out Detroit Country Day 3-0. It was Jackson, we know, beating Pioneer. Hancock Bulldogs shut out Granville by a score of 6-0. It was the Portage Muskies with a 1-goal win over Jensen, 5-4. Clarkston beat Midland by 5 goals, 6-4. It was Huron beating Northview by a goal, 6-5. Plymouth shut out Wyandotte Roosevelt 2-0. It was West Ottawa with a 1-goal win over Matawan, 5-4. Fenton Linden beat Dexter 7-2. It was Chelsea shutting out Temperance Bedford 9-0. Romeo with the 2-goal win over Rochester Stony Creek 7-5. It was Lumen Christi shutting out Cap City 8-0. Alpena shut out Petoskey 9-0. It was White Lake Lakeland with a shutout of Walled Lake Northern 4-0. Utica Ford Unified beat St. Clair Shores Unified by 2, 5-3. It was Canton shutting out Troy United 8-0. Brother Rice shut out Trenton 6-0. Detroit Catholic Central beat University of Detroit Jesuit by 2 goals, 3-1. It was Grosse Ile shutting out Southgate Anderson 7-0. Forest Hill Central shutting out Kennewa Hills 3-0, and a 2-goal win over Grand Rapids Christian beating Forest Hills Northeastern 3-1. That was all on Saturday. No games on Sunday. 2 games on Monday. No score reported between University of Detroit's Jesuit and Grosse Pointe South, but it was the Big Rapids team beating the Bay Reps 5-2. 8 games on Tuesday, and that included Gabriel Richard, Riverview Gabriel Richard beating the University of Liggett 9-5. It was Bay City with a 1-goal win over Western Pinckney 4-3. It was Calumet doubling up Nagini 6-0. Hancock Bulldogs beat Jeffers by a score of 3-2. It was Manistee with the 2-goal win over Kingsford 3-1. De La Salle got doubled up by Brother Rice 4-2. It was Wyandotte Roosevelt beating Riverview Cabrini by a goal. We talked about that earlier. And Novi doubling up the M1 Griffins 4-2. Now games on Wednesday. A lot were probably canceled. As Pioneer Divine Child score was canceled, but Grand Rapids Catholic Central beat Mona Shores by a score of 2-1. It was Alpena shutting out Gaylord 8-0. Traverse City Central with a 4-goal win over Big Rapids 6-2. It was Sheboygan beating Cadillac 5-4. Tawas with the 3-goal win over Mid-Michigan 8-5. It was the Tri-Valley Titans beating the Bay Area Thunder 6-1. Midland shut out Midland Dow 8-0, and it was Rockford with a 1-goal win over West Ottawa 3-2. 18 games on Thursday. I think we'll leave yesterday for the second intermission because there's 43 games. But it was Grand Rapids Christian beating Mona Shores 2-1 on Thursday. Alpena shut out Gaylord 8-0. It was Traverse City Central, the 4-goal win over Big Rapids 6-2. It was... Sorry, that didn't switch. I'm here reading the same scores from Wednesday. There we go. Now we're on Thursday. More scores there. Southline Unified beat Livonia Franklin by a score of 6-3. It was Fenton Linden beating Bloomfield Hills 9-5. Cap City shut out Woodhaven 5-0. It was Lands Creek Unified over Genesee 5-1. Detroit Catholic Central beat Trenton 5-0. Grand Haven put it on Troy United 10-0. It ended up in a 4-4 tie between Lake Orion and Rochester United. Utica Eisenhower with a 3-goal win over Northville. Apparently I have the hiccups. Orchard Lake St. Mary's beat Grosse Pointe South by a score of 6-4. It was Plymouth with a 1-goal win over the Thumb Area Legion, 6-5. 5-goal win by Howell over Cransbrook Kingswood, 7-2. It was the FMV Griffins topping Escanaba, 5-2. Kingsford beat Jeffers, 3-1. It was Heartland doubling up Marquette, 4-2. Grand Blanc beat Port Huron by 8 goals, 9-1. It was a 1-goal win by the Portage Muskies over White Lake Lakeland, 5-4. A 1-goal win by Chelsea over Birmingham Unified, 3-2. And Farmington United beat North Oakland 10-3. We'll take a look at the scores yesterday as there were 43 games. We'll take a look at that at the second intermission. How about a few more messages from the MHSAA? You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey. Brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting at the first intermission. It's 1-1 with the Wyandotte Roosevelt Bears.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As 17 minutes up on the clock, heading into the second period. 1-1 between Pioneer and the Wyandotte Roosevelt Bears. As Pioneer heads out onto the ice, the officials out there getting everything set up. With the netting, Pioneer will be going from right to left here in the second period. Haven't seen the Bears out as of yet. I'm sure they'll be out momentarily. As the Nets put on their moorings. Pioneers skating around, getting warmed up, getting ready to go for the second. 1-1. Here between these two teams, Roosevelt scored first at 1:38 on the power play. Pioneer answered back 27 seconds later. The Bears come out onto the ice as McGowan skates down to our left. Cass coming out onto the ice down to our right. As now both squads getting last moment instructions from the coaching staffs. And we're about to have the puck drop on our second period. Out there for Pioneer is Sandburn, Armstrong, Miller, Commuton, and Yang. Commuton looking to take the face-off. On the other side, it is Pente, Heskett, Dowam, Hill, and Gonzalez out there for the Bears. And pulled back, here comes Heskett into the zone outside the near circle. Heskett into the near corner. Now Broad in along the end boards, fired through the slot. That popped away, and Cass covering it up. 16:46 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is the score. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That's the left of Cass as Hill trying to pull it off of the boards. And it comes back to the near point as Out into the neutral zone. Heskett trying to pull it right back in. Now that grabbed and bringing ahead is Armstrong for Pioneer. Armstrong has that poked away. Heskett coming the other direction. Heskett down the near boards, gains his own high slot. Heskett backhands it deep into the far corner. Centering attempt through the slot. And pulled back top of the far circle as Dowam has it. Dowam feeds it. Trying to get to Ballantyne. That poked into the near corner. Excuse me. Comes all the way back down the ice. That'll be icing. Face off right back in the Pioneer zone. That'll be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's left. Ballantyne in to take the face-off. Ward on the other side. As that puck outside the near circle, pulled ahead. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins, as that puck poked away in along the near boards. Ballantyne trying to feed it ahead. That into the near corner. Friedman pulls it away. 15:52 left to go. Here in the second. Centering attempt. That comes all the way back. Top of the near circle. Drop pass to Gonzalez. Gonzalez able to hold it in. Top of the far circle. As Dowam fires that outside the near circle of the Pioneer zone. Fired ahead by Wilkins. Held in by Gonzalez at the near point. Sends it top of the far circle. Drop pass into the far corner. Now Gonzalez into the near corner. And rims all the way around the boards out to Dowam outside the far circle. And puck deflected right back behind Cass. Trying to pull it away is Friedman. The puck loose on the far circle. Now here comes Pioneer. Friedman banks it off the near boards, backhands it deep into the Bear zone. Friedman goes for a line change. Gonzalez puts it in along the near boards. Now that brought ahead. Here comes a breakaway as Kirk gets it into the near corner. Pioneer able to get back. That poked away. Outside the near circle, Wilkins brings it ahead. Wilkins over his own blue line. Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins top of the far circle in the Bear zone. Wilkins comes in, shot. McGowan with the save. That comes all the way back. Held in at the far point. Now racing ahead. Here comes Ballantyne. Ballantyne has it knocked away by Wilkins coming down the far boards. And outside the far circle. Fired by Edwards. Cross ice pass over to Sanborn. Sanborn sends it back out to the center ice. Now here comes Garcia. Garcia has that poke checked away. Heskett trying to feed it back deep into the Pioneer zone. Backhanded over to Miller. Miller outside the near circle. Hill trying to pull that away. That's centered all the way across the ice. Here comes Garcia over his own blue line. Garcia over center ice. Garcia gains the zone. He's knocked off the puck and that fired ahead. Trying to get to Hill. And just out of his reach. That will be icing and head back into the Bears' end. 14:07 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score. Over in the Pioneer women's game, action already, 2-1 Pioneer up on Northville. That's 13:02 left to go in the first. So multiple games going on at once. Pioneer men and women play. Face-off is to McGowan's left. In the far face-off circle, Heskett trying to get to that as Holt had it now into the far corner. Garcia pulling it back behind, firing it into the slot. Shot and a save by McGowan. 13:57 left to go here in the second. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Back to McGowan's left. As the puck comes all the way outside the near circle, Hill has it there. Hill sweeps it into the neutral zone. That intercepted by Holt now. Hudson feeds it along the far boards to Rowe. Rowe trying to fire it ahead. That tipped away. Here comes the Bears gaining the zone as Heskett firing it. Cass with the save. And swept all the way back out to the blue line. Coming down the far circle. That shot deflects outside the near circle. Hill trying to get to it. Now Gonzalez has it. Gonzalez feeds it into the slot. And pulled back by Gonzalez back to the far point. Dowam comes in. That shot got blocked. Back to Dowam, top of the far circle. Loses the puck, but Hill holds it in. Banks it off the far boards. The puck slides out into, almost into the neutral zone. That fired right back in. Rowe has it in the far corner. Now it slips back out into the neutral zone as the Bears will center it up and fire it. And tipped by Kirk as they'll slip right back behind Cass. 12:56 left to go. Here in the second, the puck outside the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Hudson trying to pull that away. And right back behind his own goal, Rowe moves it into the near corner. That banked ahead by Friedman into the neutral zone. Here comes Rowe racing down the far boards, fires it deep into the Bears zone, into the near corner. That helped around as trying to pull it down the other direction was Bayon, all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn has it, coming up the far boards, banks it off the near boards into the neutral zone. That pulled away by Garcia. Now bringing it into the near corner, Bayon has it. And helped back through the neutral zone, all the way back to the Bears blue line as Patterson picks it up on the near circle of his own zone. Patterson feeds it down the far boards. Pioneer intercepts just coming on as that was a shot by Miller, comes all the way back to the near point. Now racing ahead with it, Bayon trying to get it into the zone, tipped away. That rolls on edge right back into the Bears' end. Patterson with it there, 11:50 left to go here in the second. All knotted up at one apiece. As Commuton fires it down the far boards for Yang. Yang just inside of his own zone now, fires it back into the neutral zone. Patterson has it taken away, coming in. Armstrong with a shot that just goes wide. Collected in along the near boards, trying to feed ahead is Bayon. Commuton trying to pull that away. Now bringing it in is Pente. Commuton has it on the near circle of his own zone, trying to avoid pressure by Heskett. Trying to backhand it over to Armstrong. Pente knocks it away. Now here comes Commuton over center ice for Pioneer. Commuton gains the zone, top of the far circle, trying to feed it. That went off of a Bears skate outside the near circle. Brought ahead, Armstrong trying to hold it in. And over to Gonzalez. Gonzalez down the near boards, gains the Pioneer zone. Gonzalez on the near circle, shot that went off of the side of the net. 10:56 left to go here in the second. All knotted up at one apiece. Pioneer lifts it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Heskett trying to pull it right back in at the near point of the Pioneer zone. Pulled away, fired back by Armstrong into the far corner. That'll be icing and head back into the Pioneer end. 10:42 left to go here in the second. Knotted up at one apiece. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's left. Ballantyne in to take the face-off. Ward on the other side. That puck, Patterson pops it high as they'll go into the far corner. Kirk fires it right back into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Gathered up there by Sneed. Outside the near circle, trying to poke that away was Wilkins. The puck held in at the blue line. Now, intercepted coming in. Shot by Ballantyne, just goes wide. And along the far boards, Pioneer gets it to the blue line, but that held in there. Trying to fire it over to Sneed into the near corner. Pioneer trying to pull it off of the boards as Wilkins goes back behind his own goal. Stops there. Ballantyne steals it away outside the far circle. Kirk has it in the far corner of the Pioneer zone, trying to fire it, that off the side of the net. Pulls back outside the near circle. Patterson trying to hold it in. Wilkins gets it into the neutral zone. Now racing ahead with it, Sutton into the slot. Sutton coming in, and that is going to be a penalty. As Sutton broke away, got into the slot, and he ended up, I believe that'll be a hooking call. Pioneer will have their first power play. Hooking the call at 9:47. Penalty to Roosevelt, and that is going to be down in the box. Face-off in the far face-off circle, that to McGowan's left. As Yang has it in the far corner, puts it outside the far circle. Yang trying to drive it back to the far point now. Sends it back. Armstrong at the far point, drops it over to Wilkins. Wilkins outside the far circle. Wilkins sends it into the far corner for Yang, then gets it back. Wilkins trying to feed it out in front to Commuton. That comes into the near corner. Commuton trying to pull it off of the boards. That puck back to the near point. Sanborn holds it in on the far circle. Yang deflects it back. Now Wilkins feeds it in along the end boards, trying to fire it out in front for Commuton. That tipped away back to the near point. Sanborn holds it in into the near corner. Sanborn again holds it in at the near point. That backhanded into the far corner by Yang. Wilkins trying to get to it. He's knocked off of the puck. Brought back underneath the near circle. Bringing it ahead is Heskett. Heskett launches it all the way down the ice. Stopped by Sanborn. 1 minute left to go in the Pioneer power play. 8:43 left to go here in the second. That brought ahead. Here comes Hill. 2-on-1 for the Bears. Moved over. Cass with the... No, it went in. Cass tried to get the save, but it slipped in, and that'll be a shorthanded goal for the Bears. That at 48 seconds left in the power play. 8:35. Shorthanded goal for the Bears. As power play will continue for Pioneer. We'll see exactly who got that Ballantyne in to take the face-off. Now I have to move things over as Ward in to take the face-off for Pioneer. That comes back over. Coming down the near boards, fired back deep by Rowe, in along the end board, stopped by McGowan, and fed into the far corner. That lifted all the way back. Looks like it was Heskett with the goal as assist to Hill. That puck all the way back into the Bears zone, back behind the goal. That fed outside the near circle over to Miller. Or over to Holt. That brought ahead. Here comes Ballantyne. 2-on-1. Friedman with it. Shot and a save by Cass. Bears trying to get their second shorthanded goal on the same power play. Good save by Cass. 9 seconds left to go on the Pioneer power play. The Pioneer women have made it a 4-1 game. They have the 3-point lead with 6:50 left to go over at Vets Memorial Ice Arena. Coming off of a tough 2-1 loss last night over at Grosse Pointe South. Face-off over to Cass on the far face-off circle, bringing it ahead. And fired down by Yang all the way back into the far corner. It rimmed all the way around the board by the Bears. Collected top of the near circle. Armstrong into the near corner for Yang. Yang trying to get away from Patterson. Back over to Armstrong. Armstrong comes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Fires it out in front. And gathered up by Yang at the near point. Fires it. High slot over to Sanborn. Battle for it outside the far circle. Now the Bears fire it ahead. Held in by Pioneer as the Bears are back to full strength. And sent through the neutral zone, gathering it up. Here comes Ballantyne. Ballantyne gains the zone into the slot. Ballantyne makes a move. Saved by Cass. Cleared out of harm's way by Sanborn. The puck top of the near circle. Now comes high slot. Hops over in Gonzalez's stick. Now Gonzalez spins the other direction on the far boards. Puck loose right at center ice. Fired back deep by the Bears. 6:56 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Wyandotte has the lead. The puck brought right back in by the Bears. Now collected. Sanborn over his own blue line down the near boards of the neutral zone. Sanborn fires it back deep, right back behind McGowan. Yang chases it and brought back over to Dowham into the near corner. Commutin trying to pull that away, comes back to the near point. Sanborn with the shot, stick by McGowan into the near corner. Right back behind the goal, trying to fire it ahead was Wilkins. And Sutton has it on the near circle. Sutton coming in, Sutton's shot. And swept back into the neutral zone by the Bears. 6:18 left to go. The puck in along the near board. Sanborn trying to get it away from Hill. It's right back in along the near boards of the neutral zone, collected, and now coming the other direction by Ballantyne. Ballantyne fires it back deep, deflects off of the far corner. Sanborn trying to feed it down the near boards. And lifted by Wilkins right to the near point, held in by Pente. Now it's loose on the near circle. Sutton trying to feed it out of the zone. As that into the near corner, Sanborn has it there, trying to knock it away. Puck lifted, top of the far circle, shot there. Cass with the save. 5:41 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Lead by the Bears. Both teams scored in the first, and it was a shorthanded goal by the Bears to take the lead here in the second. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's right. It's going to be Ward versus Ballantyne into the slot. Shot, a good stick save as Patterson had a shot from the slot, and Cass knocked it away. Now coming ahead, here comes Pioneer as Wilkins taking off the puck. Sutton comes in. That shot got knocked away by McGowan. The puck in along the M boards. Is Dowham trying to get it away. Shot there by Wilkins. Another save by McGowan, and he covers it up. 5:17 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Wyandotte Roosevelt with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off in the Wyandotte zone. And to the left of McGowan. Wilkins in to take the face-off. Ballantyne on the other side. And puck outside the far circle, trying to bring it ahead. Here comes Ballantyne over his own blue line. Ballantyne races ahead. Friedman trying to cut him off. Shot saved by Cass as Sneed puts it in along the M boards. Now Friedman into the near corner. And pulled back away. Right at the near point, holding in Gonzalez. Gonzalez shifts it into the near corner. Friedman trying to fire it ahead. Here comes Hudson. Hudson fires it all the way down. That will be stopped by McGowan. Patterson has it right back behind his own goal. Hudson races into the near corner, but that brought back out into the neutral zone. Tipped ahead by Friedman into the Bears zone. Now Patterson over his own blue line, feeds it right at center ice. Gathered up, trying to bring it ahead is Garcia. Garcia comes down the far boards. That's poke check back to the far point. And a penalty coming up as Cass was racing out. Interference, the call coming up to the Bears. As last time Pioneer had the power play, it was a shorthanded goal by the Bears. This one at 4:28. It's trying to see who's going into the box. Looks like it's going to be Ballantyne for interference. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That to McGowan's left. 4 minutes up. Looks like a double minor. Unless that's an error on the clock. But otherwise, if that's 4 minutes, that'd be a double minor. Face-off in the far face-off circle. As the officials talking things over now. Ready for the face-off is Commutin in to take the face-off versus Heskett. In that far face-off circle, the puck. Fired outside the far circle. Commutin trying to fire it ahead. Battle for it on the far circle. Commutin trying to bring it on the far circle. Underneath, Garcia tips it. Commutin in the far corner. Sends it back to Armstrong. Back behind the goal. Armstrong underneath the near circle. He's pinned against the boards by Hill and lifted all the way down the ice. 3:36 left to go in the Pioneer power play. 4 minutes even left to go here in the second. 2-1. Bears with the lead. Pioneer would love to get an equalizer here and tie it up. And poke back away. Commutin has it at his own blue line. Commutin backhands it, trying to get it over to Yang down the near boards. And collected by Sanborn. Sanborn gains the zone. Sanborn outside the near circle, into the near corner. Sanborn pinned there. Armstrong coming to try and pull that away. Now the Bears fire it all the way down the ice. 3:05 left to go in the power play for Pioneer. 3:30 left to go in the third. Sutton has it in his own zone, trying to avoid Hill. Feeds it down the far boards. Back over to Sutton from Armstrong. Sutton pinned against the boards as the Bears player lost a stick. Trying to peel it out of the far corner. 3:13 left to go here in the third. Still digging in that far corner. Quartet of players trying to pull that away. 3 Pioneer players battling Dowham. Dowham has it pinned against the boards, trying to kill as much time as he can. Back to the far point, shot there by Commutin, and deflects outside the near circle. Here comes Sanborn into the near corner. Sanborn has that chipped away as that'll come into the far corner. Armstrong tipped and all the way back, fired and cleared by the Bears. Cass trying to get it ahead. That puck right back to the Bears blue line. 2:09 left to go in the Pioneer power play. 2:34 left to go in the second. As Wyandotte Roosevelt has the 2-1 lead on Pioneer. The puck on the far circle, fired ahead. Here comes Yang. Yang gets it over to Holt. That knocked away and fired from the blue line by Patterson all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Gathered up by Sanborn, back behind his goal, coming down the far board. Sanborn Gets it ahead. Here comes Yang. Touch pass. Moves it over. Gaining the zone. Shot from the far circle and save. Good shot by Holt. McGowan able to hold on. 1 minute 39 seconds left to go in the double minor to Roosevelt. 2:06 left to go in the second. Face off in the far face-off circle. Looks like Commutin in there versus Kirk. That puck into the far corner. Patterson trying to pull it away. Now Kirk fires it all the way down the ice. That'll go into the Pioneer zone. Cass will stop it right back behind his own goal. 1 minute 26 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Is bringing it ahead. Friedman sends it down the near boards. Rowe has that tipped away. Friedman trying to get it back over to Rowe. Rowe fires it back deep. Wilkins coming in with the shot and he scores! Oh! The puck was right and McGowan was trying to feed it ahead. The puck wouldn't settle down. It just stuck there. And Wilkins comes in, fires it in for a power play goal. And we're all knotted up at 2 apiece. As McGowan still hasn't gotten up from a knee. He can't believe that happened. Should be an unassisted go to Wilkins. That at 1:37. That kills the second half of the double minor. We're all knotted up at 2 apiece. The puck in along the near boards, brought in. Here comes Heskett with a shot. Goes all the way outside the far circle. Kirk trying to pull it away. Pioneer trying to feed it out of the zone, held in at the far point. Here comes Heskett through the slot. Shot goes just wide off of the far side of the goal. Now into the near corner and along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer racing ahead with it. Armstrong trying to get it ahead to Commutin. Now Armstrong gains the zone outside the near circle. Armstrong into the near corner. Goes back behind the goal from the near side to the far side. Top of the far circle shot that got deflected coming down the far boards. Here comes Patterson. Is that fired off the side of the goal? And puck still trying to get it is Hill into the near corner. Excuse me, that was Kirk who went down hard. The puck into the far corner. Kirk trying to get it. That fired right through the slot. Now there's a shot sticked away by Kaz. 38 seconds left to go here in the second. 2-2 is our score. Pioneer trying to keep the tie and get it to the intermission, as the Bears would love to get the lead before going into the second intermission. 22 seconds left to go. Pioneer fires it all the way down the ice into the near corner. That lifted down the near boards as here comes Hill. Pope back. Gathered along the near boards for Valentine. Now trying to feed it ahead was Friedman. Sutton chases it. That puck tipped away from Hill. Now fired all the way back. 3 seconds left to go. 2 seconds. 1 second. And that will do it for the second, as it was a goal by Roosevelt. Shorthanded goal at 8:34 as it was Heskett with the second goal of the game. Hill on the assist. Then there was a penalty, double minor to Ballantyne at 4:28 for interference. And Pioneer with the goal, as again the puck really kind of stuck there for McGowan, the Roosevelt goaltender, as he is trying to fire it back, and Wilkins came in and tipped it in before he could respond to it. And that was Wilkins' goal at 1:37, and that's where we're at. In the second, 14:23 left to go in the second. Pioneer women's team have the 5-2 lead in hockey over at Vets Memorial Ice Arena over Northville. So the Pioneer women's hockey team with a 3-goal lead. Let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back. You're watching Pioneer Men's Varsity Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sport skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We're going to pause that right there and do an intermission scoreboard report for the action that was yesterday. Pioneer women, nope, same score, 5-2. For a second, I thought it got bumped up to 6-2. But that's with 9:28 left to go in the second. Pioneer women have the 3-goal lead over Northville. Action from yesterday in men's men's MHSA hockey. Gibraltar Carlton shut out Jackson by a score of 2-1. It was Grace Unified beating Northville by a score of 2-1. It was Midland 5 and Hudsonville 1. Forest Hill Central with the 2-goal win over. That was Forest Hill Central with the 2-goal win over Livonia Churchill 5-3. Escanaba beat the Portage Muskies 7-1. It was South Line Unified doubling up Grand Haven 4-2. Kalamazoo United and the Bay Area Thunder ended up in a 2-2 tie. Livonia Stevenson shut out Canton 8-0. It was Marquette with the 3-goal win over White Lake Lakeland 4-1. St. Clair Shores Unified beat Midland down by a goal 6-5. It was University of Liggett with an 8-goal win over Riverview Cabrini 9-1. Father Gabriel Sharp beat Bishop Foley 10-1. It was Chippewa Valley United 8 and Marysville 1. Matawan doubled up Saginaw Heritage 4-2. It was Brother Rice with a 3-goal win over Lake Forest Academy 4-1. Brighton beat Detroit Country Day by a goal 2-1. It was Alpena shutting out Gaylord 8-0. Saline and Traverse City Central ended up in a 4-4 tie over in Traverse City. It was Lumen Christi with a 1-goal win over Eastside 3-2. Utica Eisenhower with a 1-goal win over Chelsea 3-2. It was Ann Arbor Huron beating Cadillac 3-2. Novi with a 4-goal win over West Ottawa, doubling them up 8-4. It was Romeo doubling up Grosse Pointe South 6-3. The Orchard Lake St. Mary's beat Flint Powers by a goal 2-1. University of Detroit Jesuit beat De La Salle by a goal 2-1. It was Sault Ste. Marie 3 and Forest Hills Northeastern 1. Allen Park beat Woodhaven by a score of 7-2. It was Port Huron Northern with a 1-goal win over Francois Kingswood 6-5. Houghton topped Bayport, Wisconsin 5-2. It was the Hancock Bulldogs beating the DPR Voyagers of Wisconsin 4-1. Bay City with an 8-goal win over the Tri-Valley Titans, as everything just refreshed on me. That was 9-1. Byron Center shut out Grand Rapids Catholic Central 4-0. It was Lake Orion with the 3-goal win over the FM1 Griffins 5-2. Mona Shore shut out East Grand Rapids 3-0. It was Detroit Catholic Central beating St. Ignatius 5-3. Sorry, St. Ignace. I said. It was Dexter falling to Livonia Franklin 4-3. Jensen shut out Western Pinckney 3-0, and it was Tawas beating Port Huron 9-2. That was your intermission scoreboard report. And as I talk, 2 more goals for the Pioneer women. They have the 7-2 lead over Northville, so they're really bouncing back, beating Northville, trying to bounce back from a tight game 2-1. Versus Grosse Pointe South yesterday. Pioneer men's hockey has it all knotted up versus the Bears of Wyandotte Roosevelt 2-2. Wyandotte Roosevelt has been able to take the lead twice, and Pioneer able to answer back. The last one on a fluky play with McGowan, as McGowan trying to slide the puck out, and somehow it just didn't settle down for him. And Wilkins able to really wisely pay attention and pop it in. Pioneer back out onto the ice. As well as the Bears, we're getting ready to go. 17 minutes up on the clock for this all-important third period. Pioneer looking to get the first lead of the game, as the Bears looking to take their third lead of the game and try and make it stick versus this pesky Pioneer team. Both teams bring their 5 out onto the ice, as it is Wilkins, Sutton, and Ward for Pioneer up front, Sanborn and Miller the back end. As that one is all the way back, Gonzalez has it, that tipped away, and wouldn't settle down on that far circle now, bringing it ahead. Here comes Heskett. Heskett with a wide angle shot, follow-up, backhanded shot, and a save by Cass. The puck in along the near boards. Here comes Pioneer as Sutton brings it down the ice. Sutton along the near boards. That chipped away from him, but bringing it ahead. Here comes Sanborn. Sanborn with a shot from the high slot. That goes wide into the near corner. Sutton trying to pull that away. That grabbed as Heskett pops it up high in the air. Racing back, Sanborn backhands it in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Gathered up by Sutton. Sutton has it poked away right at center ice. Hill leaves it, drop pass, now bringing in Commutin. And pulled away from it by 3 different Bears players who surrounded them and fired right to center ice. Tipped down, 16 minutes even left to go here in the third, 2-2 at score. The puck outside the far circle is Bayon. Gets it back out into the neutral zone. Pioneer trying to avoid pressure by Bayon, firing it ahead, that chip back the other direction. Now Ballantyne gets it in as racing over is Kirk on the near circle. Kirk drops it high slot, that gotten out of the zone by Armstrong. Now coming the other direction, Ballantyne in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Retreats almost to his own blue line, fires it down the far boards, and that'll slip right back behind Cass. Picked up there into the near corner as Miller trying to pull that away. Commutin gets it to the blue line, but held in there by Dowham. All the way over on the far circle, shot and wide. And that'll come back into the neutral zone. 15-12 left to go here in the third. 2-2, Pioneer and Roosevelt all knotted up. Yang back there to provide pressure as Bayon trying to get it out of the zone. Now Gonzalez chasing it, coming in, shot by Armstrong off the side of the net. All the way back outside the far circle. Pioneer trying to hold it in, but that puck saucers all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Rowe has it there, coming down the near boards. And trying to knock it away was Yang. Loose back to the near point to Rowe, and now brought back into the neutral zone. Back to the Pioneer blue line. Armstrong slides it across the ice. Now coming ahead, Sanborn. Banks it off the near boards. And it's collected by Gonzalez, who retreats to his own slot, fires it ahead into the neutral zone. The puck comes into the near point at the Pioneer zone, now brought in deep by Heskett into the near corner. Hill trying to come in. Great job by Rowe to poke that away. Now right back behind the goal, coming ahead is Sanborn down the near boards. Banks that all the way back. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer zone. 14:09 left to go here in the third. All knotted up at 2 apiece. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's right. Ward in to take the face-off. Heskett on the other side. As that puck loose, still battling on that far circle. And it comes back into the near corner. Trying to poke it away. Pioneer trying to grab it as back behind is Edwards into the far corner. That tipped off of Friedman's skate and went off of the side of the net. Battle for it on the far circle. Coming into the slot, there's a shot by the Bears. That comes outside the near circle. Here comes Pioneer bringing it ahead. Garcia feeds it to center ice. That gathered is Garcia trying to get it away from Gonzalez on that far circle. Now Heskett trying to get to it. Garcia puts it into the near corner. Good battles there. Heskett brings it back behind his own goal. 13:24 left to go. Here in the third, Pioneer trying to hold it in at the far point. That skips out and out of play. Across the way over Vets Memorial Ice Arena, it's now a 6-goal game. 8-2, Pioneer with the lead over Northville. 4:57 left to go in the second. Now Pioneer men trying to take the lead here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube. Puck pulled in along the near boards by Patterson. Patterson gets it to the near point. Now that all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn has it underneath the near circle, trying to avoid pressure by Ballantyne. Gets it over to Sutton. Sutton moves it ahead through the neutral zone. Racing to get to it is Wilkins. Wilkins gets to it before the goal line. Wilkins feeding it. Shot and a save by McGowan. 12:56 left to go here in the third. 2-2 is the score. Face off in the near face off circle. That to McGowan's left. Ward in to take the face off. Sutton to his right. As that grab by Ballantyne, loose through the slot. Trying to hold it in is Wilkins, but that comes outside and along the far boards. Sanborn fires it right back into the near corner of the Bears zone. That gathered up there and then fired back in by Miller. The puck collected by the Bears. Now they bank it off the near boards, coming ahead with it. As here comes Dowam in. That knocked away from Kirk all the way back into the Bears zone. 12:26 left to go here in the third. 2-2 is our score. As one of the Bears players lost their stick. As that is indeed Dowam into the near corner as Ballantyne feeds it all the way around the boards outside the far circle. Trying to hold it in there with Sanborn. There's a shot by Commuton. That deflected up into the netting. As Commuton with a wicked shot. Good job by McGowan. 2-2 is our score. 12:04 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. And to the right of McGowan. Commuton in to take the face-off. Heskett on the other side. Now they'll have Commuton switch spots with Armstrong. Armstrong wins it into the far corner. That pulled back by Dowam. Moving in along the near courts. There's a shot from the near point by Rowe and covered up. Faceoff will stay in the Roosevelt zone with 11:55 left to go here in the third. 2-2 is our score. Commuton in to take the faceoff. Heskett on the other side. And puck, battle for it on the near circle. Tip back into the neutral zone. Rowe chasing it. Now that grab by Friedman. Friedman feeds it back along the near boards of the neutral zone. Commuton trying to bring it ahead. Now that brought in by Heskett. Outside the near circle, Friedman fires it right back in. Now down. Feeds it in outside the far circle. And gathered up into the far corner of the Pioneer zone. Coming in back behind the goal is Ballantyne. Feeds it outside the near circle to Dowam. Dowam as that tipped. And it'll go right back behind the Pioneer goal. Trying to feed it through the slot. That comes all the way back to the near point. Shot by Dowam, deflected. And here comes Pioneer. Poked away outside the near circle. Heskett has it on the near circle. And it's knocked away from him in along the near boards. Trying to feed it ahead was Friedman. At center ice, that moved. Here comes Commuton with a shot and a glove save by McGowan. Leaves it down to the far side for his defenders. As that fed right to the blue line. Heskett tips it along the near boards. As Edwards trying to fire it back in, and they whistle. That's going to be offsides. Well, there is 10 seconds left in the Pioneer women's game. It's only the second, but they have an 11-2 lead. And that is going to do it as the clock expires. The Pioneer women mercy Northville by a score of 11-2 over Vets Memorial Ice Arena. Here it's knotted up at 2 apiece. That fired back in by Edwards into the near corner. Gathered up there by Gonzalez, who feeds it all the way around the boards. Back to the far point. Held in there by Sanborn, who fires it back deep, back behind the goal. Garcia trying to pull it off of the end boards. That gathered up and coming ahead with it is Patterson. Patterson backhands it ahead to Ballantyne. Ballantyne over center ice. Ballantyne gains his own. Holt trying to knock that away. Collision right at the near point as that puck fired all the way back down the ice. That is going to be icing. It'll head back into the Pioneer zone. Ten minutes, 9 seconds left to go here in the third. Knotted up at 2 apiece. Both teams scored in the first. Both teams scored in the second. It was Roosevelt scoring first both times. Now Ward has to leave the face-off circle. Wilkins in there versus Heskett. Heskett wins it back to the far point. Now Dowam has it, top of the near circle shot. Save by Cass. 10:03 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to Cass's right. Ward in to take the face-off. Again, Heskett on the other side. And puck fired high, slot for Gonzalez. Gonzalez shot out in front, and they score. As putting it in, Heskett gets the hat trick. as Cass made the first save and deflected just off to his left. Heskett there to put it in. And Roosevelt again takes the lead. And with 9:57 left to go. Heskett with his third goal. He scored all three for Roosevelt for the hat trick. Face off at center ice. Ward trying to get to that. That pulled down the far boards. Firing it in was Gonzalez, and covering it up is Cass. 9:48 left to go here in the third. 3-2. Roosevelt with the lead. It ended up being 3-2 going into the final moments in the first game. Pioneer able to tie it up, then Roosevelt won in overtime. Still waiting for that goal call to see if there were any assists. As Commutin in to take the faceoff versus Heskett in the far faceoff circle. That puck brought back behind by Miller. Miller coming down the near boards. And chip back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead with it, Pente. Trying to get it now, Gonzalez back behind his own goal. Gonzalez has that knock down the near boards. Bringing it in, Pente. Pente outside the near circle. Pente moves it back to the near point. Now that fired all the way through the slot. Gathered up Pioneer coming down the far boards. Racing ahead with it is Sanborn. Sanborn fires it right back behind the goal into the near corner. And trying to pull it away there. Armstrong in there as well as Sanborn. That comes through the slot. Bringing it ahead down the far boards. That fed all the way back by Heskey into the far corner. Taken right back behind the Pioneer goal. Fed into the slot. Now Commutin has it. Commutin goes back behind Cass underneath the near circle. Believe it was Dowell with the assist. Couldn't hear well. 3-2. Lead by the Bears. That puck will come right back into the Pioneer zone. Bears looking to try and pour on and get the insurance goal. Pioneer would like to get tied back up again for the third time. Face off to Kansas right in the near face-off circle. That puck in along the near boards. Into the near corner, trying to feed it in front is Ballantyne. That comes all the way down the far boards. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer Wilkins. Trying to get it into the zone. That knocked away. Now coming the other direction. Ballantyne with it. Ballantyne shot up into the netting above Cass's head. And that will be a face-off in the Pioneer zone. 8:28 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's left. Ward in to take the face-off. Looks like Friedman to his left. Wilkins, Rowe, and Garcia to his right. On the other side is Ballantyne. That puck outside the far circle, trying to fire it deep as Patterson. Back behind the Pioneer goal, firing it out in front, loose, trying to chip away in the slot. Ballantyne on the near circle, and back top of the near circle, back to the near point. Fed back deep by Dowham, centering attempt, pulled back away, Cass covering it up. Ward trying to move it away. Ballantyne got it right in the slot. 8:09 left to go here in the third. 3-2. Roosevelt with the lead. Thank you so much for watching and cheering for these teams and these athletes wherever you are. We're very, very grateful. Ward in to take the face-off versus Ballantyne in the near face-off circle. Ballantyne into the near corner. Fires it, backhands it through the slot. That rocketed all the way down on edge back into the Bears zone. Icing waved off. That puck chipped into the far corner. Trying to pull that away as Garcia. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Dowham. Dowham into the Pioneer zone. That lifted by Edwards back into the neutral zone. Hill has it at his own blue line. Hill comes down the far boards of the neutral zone. Hill coming in. Hill outside the far circle. Hill goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now into the near corner. Sanborn trying to knock that away. Held in by Gonzalez at the near point. Gonzalez moves it outside the near circle. Gonzalez trying to get a shot away. Good job by Sanborn to knock that away. Chipped into the far corner by Ward. Here comes Ward down the far boards. He ends up in a pile as that puck out into the neutral zone. gathered up. Gonzalez comes over center ice for the Bears, gains the Pioneer zone. Poke check, but over as Pente with a shot. Saved by Cass. The puck loose and comes back behind as Cass sticks it into the near corner. Swept back to Heskey at the near point. And top of the near circle for Gonzalez through the slot and pulled away. Coming ahead with it was Wilkins. And poke checked away by Heskey. Now, and pulled back in along the near goal by Wilkins. On the near circle, Heskey coming in, shot. Good save by Cass. The puck back to the far point. And coming into the far circle, Patterson trying to fire it out, and a glove save by Cass. You can't tell he's a baseball player at all with that nice diving glove save. Heck of a pitcher and a very good baseball player is Mr. Cass. Look forward to seeing him with the baseball team and all the rest of the spring sports. As Cass has to get a new stick. Face off in the far face-off circle, 3-2 with 6:27 left to go. Roosevelt with the lead, face-off in the far face-off circle as Holt trying to get to it. That shot bounces into the near corner. Trying to pull it away is Pente. And Rowe chasing it outside the near circle. And poked along the near boards. To bring it ahead is Holt loose as Heskett with a shot that goes off the back of the net. Delayed penalty to Pioneer. Gonzalez with a shot. Another save by Cass. The puck into the near corner. Rowe trying to get a handle on it. The puck loose all the way back to Penke. That knocked down and held in. Top of the near circle. Heskett with a shot that deflects just to the near side. That will be a delayed penalty to Pioneer. 5:44 left to go here in the third. Roosevelt has the one-goal game lead, 3-2. Looks like a roughing is the symbol made. That's going to go on Sutton. Pioneer shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. In to take the face-off is Armstrong. Yang, Sanborn, and Miller out there as well. The puck on the near circle. And to pull that away outside the near circle. That backhanded all the way down the ice. Great job by Armstrong. McGowan stops it underneath the far circle. Gathered up by Dowam. Puts it right back behind the goal. Now coming ahead. Down Gonzalez. And fed down the far boards. Fed by Dowam all the way along outside the near circle. Gonzalez trying to hold it in. Here comes a breakaway by Yang. Yang one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Yang comes in. Shot and a save by McGowan. Good attempt by Yang on the breakaway, trying to get a short-handed goal. McGowan able to make the save. Face-off on the far face-off circle. That to the right of McGowan. Wilkins, Commuton out there for Pioneer, as well as Edwards and Friedman. Across the way, Heskett taking the face-off and pulled into the far corner for Patterson. Patterson bringing it down, poke checked away from him. Patterson back at his own blue line. And brought ahead down the near boards. Here comes Gonzalez over center ice, fed into the far corner. Friedman with it there, backhanding it high, back into the neutral zone. Heskett has it at center ice. Heskett coming ahead with it now, over center ice, down the far boards. Heskett has Commuton trying to poke that away at the far point. The puck, top of the far circle. Cross ice pass, banked off of the boards as Kirk gets it back to Gonzalez at the near point. Back outside the near circle for Heskett. That intercepted. Coming down the other direction. Here comes Commuton. Commuton trying to feed it over to Wilkins. That went off of his skate. Wilkins trying to feed it right back in. That knocked away. Coming down the far boards. Here comes Ballantyne into the Pioneer zone on the far circle. Ballantyne with a shot. That comes outside the near circle. Kirk trying to fire it out in front. That pulled up outside the near circle by Hill. Hill sends it into the near corner. Kirk poking away at it. Kirk in along the M boards. And comes back. Shot by Ballantyne. Just goes wide. Back at the far point, trying to get it over to Gonzalez with the one-timer. Ballantyne with the shot. And a glove save by Cass. Pioneer back to full strength. 3:41 left to go. Here in the third, 3-2. Roosevelt with the lead. Face off to Cass's right in the near face-off circle. Ward in there versus Ballantyne. Ward trying to put it in along the end boards. Now Miller takes it back behind his own goal. Miller coming down the far boards, knocks it, trying to bank it ahead. That puck lifted right back into the far corner. Sanborn comes back behind his own goal. Now underneath the far circle. Sanborn coming down the far board. Sanborn sends it, that off of the near boards. Gathering it up, Garcia trying to backhand it back into the neutral zone. Fed in by Miller, right back behind the goal. Garcia gathering it up there. 3:08 left to go here in the third. Garcia doing battle back behind with Armstrong. Armstrong trying to knock that away. The puck comes in along the far boards. Hill trying to fire it ahead to Ballantyne. Now over center ice. Here comes Dowham. Dowham into the slot. Poked away and a save by Cass. 2:51 left to go here in the third. 3-2. Roosevelt with the lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off. Friedman to his left. Wilkins, Rowe, and Garcia. Right in the slot in front of Cass. Heskett on the other side for the face-off. Timeout now called as Pioneer takes the timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll play a little push on, and we'll be right back with the remaining 2 minutes and 51 seconds left of the third. .51 left to go here in the third from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube as Roosevelt Wyandotte has the 3-2 lead over Pioneer as Roosevelt scored first in the first period at 1:38. Heskett with his first of 3 on the power play. Then Yang answered back at 1:11. In the second, it was Heskett again with a goal at 8:32. Assist was to Hill. That was shorthanded. Then Pioneer answered back as Wilkins put it in at 1:37 left to go in the second. And then the go-ahead goal at 9:57. Heskett with the final goal of the hat trick assist to Dowham. As that is where we stand, 3-2. 2:51 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Commuting in to take the face-off. Heskett on the other side. That puck into the far corner. Stop there, bringing it ahead is Commuting, poked away. Now bringing it down the near boards is Friedman. Friedman fires it deep. And right back behind Commuting trying to get to it. McGowan covers it up. 2:35 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the near face-off circle. That to left of McGowan. Heskett in to take the face-off. Commuting on the other side. Rowe right back behind Commuting. Now they're going to have Heskett. He replaced by Ballantyne in the face-off circle. That puck into the near corner. Trying to dig it off of the boards as Garcia pulls it right back behind. Patterson trying to get to it. Patterson underneath the far circle. Patterson bringing it ahead. Patterson backhands it all the way down the ice. Now coming in on the far circle. Poked away from Kirk. Good job by Friedman. Puck loose. Now back, firing it out in front. Over on the near circle. Ballantyne feeds it to the far point. Trying to get it in. Ballantyne into the far corner. Ballantyne back behind the goal. Ballantyne in the near corner. Ballantyne slips it, then that comes all the way back into the neutral zone. 1:52 left to go. The puck in along the near boards. Chipped by Heskett. Now coming ahead with it. Rowe for Pioneer. Gains the zone. Rowe on the near circle. Rowe into the near corner. Backhands it right through the slot. Pull back. And trying to fire it deep is Wilkins. Now that lifted and saved by McGowan. 1 minute 33 seconds left to go. We'll keep an eye on Cass to our left. Face-off is going to be in the Roosevelt zone. That is going to be in the far face-off circle. Cass looks like he's going to the bench. So it looks like Pioneer are going to, well, that first timeout apparently was called by the Bears. This one called by Pioneer. They're going to try and set something up. It looks like they may well have Cass on the bench for the extra attacker, trying to get this game tied up. And again, it was very, very similar in the first game between these two at Yak Ice Arena. Pioneer tied it up late to send it into overtime, 3-3. And then Wyandotte Roosevelt able to get the win, 4-3 in overtime. Both teams talking things over with their coaching staff. Officials talking things over right in front of the scorer's bench. Appreciate you joining us for some afternoon hockey. The Pioneer women's team already winning today, 11-2. Ended up mercying Northville over at Veterans Memorial Ice Arena. Had a couple good basketball games last night as both the junior varsity and varsity men's teams beat Dexter. The women's team fell over at Dexter, the women's varsity basketball team. Good weekend of Pioneer sports. Face-off in the far face-off circle. Be even better, Pioneer can pull off a goal here to send it in overtime and try and get the win. Commuting in to take the face-off in the far face-off circle. Looks like Heskett in there on the other side. Sutton sitting right next to the slot. That puck in along the end boards. Gonzalez feeds it down the far boards, back to the far point, held in there by Sanborn. The puck top of the near circle coming in. Shot, that deflected, loose. Back behind into the near corner as Garcia trying to fire it out in front. Yang has it in the far corner, sends it in along the end boards. Commuting, trying to get it out in front, holding it in as Sanborn. Now coming the other direction. The puck loose in along the near boards, chipped ahead by Rowe. Gathered up, and he tries to lift it out of the zone. The puck underneath the far circle. Wilkins trying to get to it. 53 seconds left to go here in the third. Empty net to our left. As the puck lifted back through the neutral zone into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn trying to bank it ahead. The puck right at the near point now. Pioneer's blue line. Commuting trying to fire it ahead. That lifted back into the near corner. Taking it there is Wilkins. Wilkins brings it ahead. 28 seconds left to go. Wilkins through the neutral zone, down the near boards, into the near corner, trying to get away from Dowlam. Hill blasted all the way down the ice. That is icing as Pioneer not on the power play, so we'll have one more face-off. Deep in the Bears zone, Pioneer hoping for a goal off the face-off or something fairly quick because there's 15.5 seconds left to go here in the third. Face-off to McGowan's right in the far face-off circle. Commuting in versus Heskett. And puck into the far corner. Gonzalez is sending it along the boards. And loose in the slot, racing over. 6 seconds left to go. Armstrong put it out in front. Armstrong backhands it and sent all the way down the ice, and that will do it. Pioneer in a battle, but Wyandotte Roosevelt able to get the win, 3-2. Pioneer will be back in action. Their next game will be here versus Grosse Ile. That'll be Tuesday the 31st at 7:30. We should be able to have that game for you. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you very much and have a great rest of your night.